everyone. Hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Quee. Today, we're doing a fun top 10. I'm sure this is going to prove quite divisive, but we're doing top 10 Mancunian battle rappers. Battle rappers from Manchester, the top 10, most technically proficient, the top 10 most legendary, the legacy, the character, whatever. We're going to be going through. Just before we get to that, please follow us at Battle Rap Resume, your Patreon there. Leave us a review on iTunes, please, if you wish to. I had to be joined, really, by a true Manc to do this list. It'd be completely weird otherwise. Yaneth, how's it going, man?
I'm good. It's Mr. AKA It's Relevant. I'm good. Thank you for having me, Tom.
That's your catchphrase, right?
That is as Briggsy and Tox would say, the slogan of 2018.
But I mean, the way we kind of met was quite funny because you've been a fan for a long time. I did this sort of recap of 5th birthday promo material from Don't Flop Extra, and one of the things they did on there was a pretty novel competition. Hashtag, I think it was like, I think Daylight will, and it was just sort of predicting, what will he do, what incredibly absurd, obnoxious, nude thing will he conjure. And I added it all together. I picked my favourites. I think they had like 20 and I picked about 10 or so. And there you were, man, pontificating on what Daylight will.
Yeah. Mine was actually the first one second one that you used. Because
Right.
you used some guy, I don't know who the guy is, but he was doing some sort of Carlton dance.
Yes, yeah. Shuffle T was there, most prob as well.
Yeah. But I knew you were going to put me on blast for that straight away because mine was a bit far-fetched and out there.
What was yours?
Mine was, I think Daylight will poke Calcium Kid in the eye with a dildo.
The delivery's there, yeah.
Pause.
But so yourself and being a fan then of this thing, how did that happen?
Right, well, to be fair for me, I started rapping way back when I was like, I think the first time I ever wrote a bar, I was in year 7, so I was about 11 years old. And my first bar was terrible. It was I'm blowing up like the London disaster.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Anonymous,
anyway, years ago. Which anybody who knows me from day one will remember that, and I still get grief for that to this day. And then to be fair, battling didn't really obviously other than the 8 Mile stuff and Eminem and stuff like that, I didn't really know it was a thing until Blizzard, who shout out Blizzard, I've known him since he was 11 years old, and I remember Blizzard on Market Street selling mixtapes with shout out Shifty as well. Shifty is the GOAT of Manchester. He never battled, but he's the GOAT of Manchester, full stop. So Blizzard put one out there. I think it was Blizzard. I can't remember. It might have been Seuss when he battled Seuss, I think that was the first battle that I ever properly watched. It was the event where Briggsy battled Els anyway.
Yes, yeah.
That was the first battle that I ever watched, and obviously supporting a good friend of mine, I started clicking on related videos as you do. And the second one I watched, which to me, years later, when I come back to it and started realizing who these people were, was TC versus Rizzle, or Gizmo, not Gizmo, Seasoning versus Rizzle.
Yep.
So that they were the first 2 battles that I got into, and then I slowly kept track of things. And after I watched them, I got to eventually meet Briggsy, who I class as a very good friend of mine. Briggsy put me on my first ever show when I used to rap. So I've known Briggsy for a good few years now, and then obviously got more and more into it, started watching his battles, and then I just dived. You know what it's like, Tom.
Yeah.
You get into it, and then game over. It's battle rap ruined my life.
And there aren't many places in the world, really, but certainly in the country, where there's so much battle rap talent. It's quite incredible, really, the output of Manchester.
There's people that are going to be hurt by the fact that I haven't mentioned them. If I haven't mentioned you in this list, it's nothing against you as a person, or not that I don't know that you're from Manchester or anything like that. It's just we could have done this episode and made it as long as Mr. King Rowan's podcast if we'd have talked about every single battler from Manchester. Before I get into my list, like I said, I do have a few honourable mentions, and these not the jokey ones like Eek for being trash, but like a few other honourable mentions that didn't quite make the list, not because they aren't good, not because I don't know who they are or anything like that, just because I didn't see enough of them. The first honourable mention for me would be Eddie P.
Just didn't battle enough for you, or?
Yeah, he just didn't battle enough for me. Whenever I caught one of his battles, like the 2-on-2, which I'll get into a little bit later, he killed the 2-on-2 scene with Frisco. And then he did have a few. I think he battled on the Test 10, but I can't remember who he battled. Oh, you mentioned it, Briggsy, in his one the other day.
He battled Calcium Kid.
Calcium Kid, that was it. That battle for me was jokes.
Yeah,
I love Calcium Kid, but I think he's hilarious, and Eddie P's hilarious. But it was just he didn't battle enough for me to make this list. This list here, again, people might get hurt over this, but this isn't just people who battle. This is people who have made contributions to battle rap from Manchester, and the contributions that they have made exceeds like just battling. So there's a few weird ones in there. You're gonna be like, hey, why is he in there? Why has he put him over him? But that is down to the fact that they've done a lot for the battle rap scene.
Let's get into the first battler.
So my first battler. Now this was a really good stuff. Oh, just before, sorry, Tom, I'm going off. I did want to say as well. Another honourable mention that I do want to make, and I want everybody to go and check out his stuff on there. Now, Major Concerns. Right. He's come through the academy now, the Premier Battles Academy, and I swear to God, this man has took to battling like a duck to water or Kurt Angle to wrestling. Let me tell you, he's fire. I'd never heard of the kid, right? Never even saw any of his battles or anything like that, and I went to the academy event when we were originally supposed to do this, but I got kidnapped. Yeah, he's fire. And another person who I think I actually sent you the video. I thought was trash before seeing him live, and he's actually gone on to become like really, really good friend of mine. LS Dean. For me, LS Dean, the last academy, LS Dean had performance. What him or Major had performance of the night for me, and that's the way that I had. That's all. Please, guys, if you don't know who LS Dean is and you don't know who Major Concerns is, go and check that out. So back to the proper list. Sorry about that, bro. I
agree. No, I haven't actually seen any Major Concerns, but obviously LS Dean is
seriously, please go and check Major Concerns Academy battle. He did one against Bombshell, which you think that he's going to be trash when he starts because he does have a little bit of a choke at the start. Right. But I think that was like Briggsy said, I think it was just nerves. Because then after that, he comes back with one of the, for me, that was the punchline of the battle. After that was it's a spirit bomb bar, and it was just, it was unreal. Other one last honourable mention that I forgot because I've just got my list up in front of me now. And again, just because he didn't battle enough, but his contributions to battle rap now are amazing, and he's doing a lot for the scene right now. He's flawless, taking up flawless.
Yep.
It's relevant, just because I know we'll want to hear that. Yeah, so first on my list, and again, this is more, I wasn't a massive fan of his battles, but for what he did for battle rap is Chronicle.
This little dickhead is proper gassed, I'm speaking true. Let me drop some factual shit, because you seem confused. I paid you nothing to do this battle, no weed or booze. Made your boys pay in and you paid the petrol from Lead You To.
Without Chronicle, I don't think we'd have ever got really the legendary To The Test events, and also the legendary Blam events.
And Words of Weapons as well.
Yeah, Words of Weapons. Well, yeah, a few of my friends battled on Words of Weapons and then decided they didn't want to battle after that. Like, shout out to Pros, who's killing it now with his band and that, signed and that. And shout out to Violet as well. Violet was on Words of Weapons. I think Violet did the Don't Flop trial that ended up on the demo channel as well.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to them guys. But yeah, Chronicle. If you look at some of the... He had some big battles himself, don't get me wrong. Like he battled... was it Big J that he battled at Boom Bap?
He did, yeah. He battled Peace Soldier as well.
Yeah, he had some big battles, but for me, he was better at organising events than actually battling, because you look at the battles that he put on. He put on Lunacy Bloodstroke. He put on the Blam event where we got, and to be fair, as much as people bag on him, Bleak versus Double L is one of my favourite battles to watch, because Double L's bar about, you always pick your Kumu, that kills me. He just put on so many good events, and I wasn't fortunate to get to one of the Blam events or anything like that, because at the time I was the only person really into battle rap out of my circle. So, but from everybody to this day still talks about the Blam event and the To The Test events. To me, the best like card I've ever seen, or the best event that I go back and I watch every battle from the event over and over again is To The Test 10, which without Chronicle we would never have got that. So yeah, that's why Chronicle is in the list. I know there was fallings out, and I know there's a lot of like Manchester, not just Manchester battlers, but Manchester rappers that don't always see eye to eye with Chronicle. To be fair, I've not seen him about in years now.
No.
But he still did a lot for battle rap, so he made the list.
I've just noticed, by the way, the top 10 is actually a top 11. So maybe,
is it 11?
Yeah. So maybe take one of the next few as an honourable mention.
I can't be doing that. We're going to have to have a top 11.
We'll do a top 11. I think that's fair.
I can't take anybody else out now because there's already going to be people over this.
no, seriously, Chronicle though, yeah, completely agree. I actually met him a few times in Manchester. I went to a few Words of Weapon events when I lived there. And I remember when I first spoke to him, he was trying to get me a battle on Words of Weapons a cappella against Dean at the time, not LS Dean. And I remember writing a few bars for him. This was like 2014 or something. But eventually that didn't happen. But Dean did battle someone else on Words of Weapons a cappella. And I remember it didn't go down very well. So, yeah, maybe that was what he... But...
To be fair, with the Words Weapons one, I know Raptor battled a lot on there. That was where we first saw Raptor. That was the first time I really saw Raptor as well. Apart from outside of like the actual music scene, because I know Raptor from when Briggsy had Upper Level Entertainment, because my next door neighbour was actually in Upper Level, right. So that's how I sort of knew Raptor. But Words Weapons was cool because at the time everybody was spitting grime. Everybody was sort of going from that grime maybe into actual rap thing. Like, look at Pros now. Pros as a battle, and if you get a chance to watch it, so I'm going to watch it, because Pros lyrically is amazing. And like now he's signed by, I think he's with Virgin now. He's signed by, and he's doing big things. He's doing festivals and everything like that. And this is just a kid that I grew up with. But his Words Weapon battle was quality.
Chronicle, he's kind of spurious. A lot of things. A lot of people don't know how to take the guy, whatever. But yeah, I think he was a talent. I think he battled Archaic, and he got taken down.
He did. No, he did. He battled Ark. Who else did he battle now? I think, didn't he battle O'Shea as well in one of the really early events? Yeah. It was something like, and I remember Chronicle in that battle flipped O'Shea's top. It was like an Adidas top, and it's like, every day I do a shit, or something like that. It was some sort of terrible bar. What?
But yeah, I think Chronicle was decent. The next guy, second pick, number 10. We're doing a top 11 because I completely agree. I think everyone on the list is very deserving. The partner of one of the honourable mentions, this is Frisco.
And I've listened to your silly pointless tracks and I do kind of like him. But inside the ring, you're Rodley Harrison and I'm Mike Tyson. And now you're looking frightened. That's because you didn't think logically. Because right now, nobody's watching you. They're all watching me. Partly because of the BBC.
Frisco, absolute Mancunian legend. Like I said, I knew a lot of the people on this list I knew before they battled. But Frisco, Lord. And I actually got the pleasure to meet him finally, like properly have a sit down and chat with him at the Academy event because he showed up.
Right.
And me, him and Bowski disappeared and went to the pub and had a few pints and a few natters and things like that. And he's one of the most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet, ever. But for me, the reason he made the list is he had some classics.
Yeah.
Like, when he battled Bowski, classic battle.
Oh, yeah, but Bowski beat him, but good battle.
Yeah, I'll get on to Bowski shortly. Don't worry about me and the boss dog, baby. No, for me, Frisco, he combined the writing skill with the jokes. So he wasn't, even though he predominantly come out with a load of jokes, his writing skill behind the jokes and the way he did the jokes, for me, was absolutely fire. And again, we got one of the best ever Don't Flop battles out of Frisco in the 2-on-2 against Luna and Matter, which I don't think he's as one-sided as people make out, you know. And that's not me being biased towards the Mancunians, but for me, that battle is more debatable than what people say it is.
I think Frisco, he did have that just comedic delivery, almost Craig Cash-esque. Like, there was something so winning about his style. And, you know, he battled a lot of people. He battled Mark Grist with Mixie. He's battled Soul. He's battled Mickey. You know,
Eek. He battled Eek.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He was on Words of Weapons. I didn't remember him versus Lady Shocker.
Yeah. Sorry, that was the first ever Words of Weapons battle I watched. It was Lady Shocker versus Frisco, actually. Yeah, Frisco is for me the one bar that I know he came up with it because I actually asked him this. Was the what's it called? Matt's going bald.
Yeah.
That for me kills me every time I watch it. That's one of my go. If I'm ever having like a bad day or a shitty day or something like that, I will go watch Eddie P and Frisco versus Luna and Matt. And that's one of them battles that if you were to go to your friend who doesn't know battle rap and you were to show them a battle to try and get them into it, you would show them Eddie P and Frisco versus Luna and Matt.
I agree. I've watched that battle with people who haven't watched battle rap. At university, for example, with friends in living rooms and stuff, and no one can resist it. It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, it's literally that. Like I said, if we had to do top 5 don't flop battles for me, that'd be in there.
I agree, actually. Yeah, I do agree.
And the other good thing is about Frisco as well is, and again, this is one of the reasons why he made the list over Eddie P. Is he still supports to this day. He still shows up at events. Like, I was even asking him if he'd battle again, and he's totally up for battling again if it's the right person, the right time, and everything's right. Because I was actually trying to get him to battle Bobby. I was like, you and Bobby would be one of the best battles ever.
Yeah, Frisco is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, underlined. So the next battler for you.
So the next battler for me, let me get my list back up because my phone keeps locking. The next battler for me is, I did mention him a few minutes ago, and again, one of the nicest people that I've had the pleasure to meet in the last couple of months. At the time, he was the one extra freestyle champion, I think it was. And that's the Bob Dog, baby.
This Manchester scribe reminds me of Sepp Blatter, an absolute twat who I'd love to batter. Splatter this bitch all over the floor. You know and I know that your mum is a whore. I seen her wandering round Piccadilly looking for Willie. Punters pull up and they say, don't be silly.
Big Bowski. Not that big anymore, I must say. He's trimmed up quite a bit, Bowski.
An absolute workhorse. Battled so hard for Don't Flop and has so many great battles. And it's, yeah, I got nothing but good stuff to say about Bowski, man. I love his style. It's infectious.
Do you know what the thing is? Bowski is one of them. He can do it all. He's so versatile that he can change his style for who he is battling. So, say, for example, him and Big Sarters, when they did the 2-on-2 tournament and they battled, was it Zen and Dialect?
Yes.
When they battled them, that was the event where Math battled Shotty, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was there, and they just went hard with bars. There wasn't many jokes, and in that freestyle thing that he did, it was majority bars, and bars. He can write bars that can go toe to toe with the best wordsmiths or pen game or whatever you want to call it. He can go toe to toe with them, but at the same time, if you will just crack jokes, he can do that as well, and that's why to me, he's one of the best people to come out of Manchester, and he put on for this city and give the likes to the people who wanted to do the jokes, and then but also could go, all right, well, there's bars as well. My favourite Bowski battle, absolute favourite Bowski battle is he battled Hulk on King of the Ronalds, didn't he?
Yeah, early battle.
Yeah, and that was one of the early King of the Ronalds thing, and that was when I've never been one of these people that have gone, oh yeah, don't flop, nothing else, da-da-da-da-da. Now, I will say now, I'm screaming Premier Battles all day, but at the time when King of the Ronalds started, it was what it needed, because Don't Flop was going away from the jokes and more into the bars, and for the people who still wanted the absolute piss take of a laugh, King of the Ronalds was one. But again, him versus Hulk is one of them battles that I'll go watch over and over again.
Yeah, he's done so much, like the overseas stuff, as we say. The most prod battles hilarious as well. You know, he's just his early battles as well. He's so animated and so much singing and impressions, and it's.
Although I will say, I did tell him when we was having a pint. I said, if you ever try and sing in a battle again, I'm switching it off.
He did the battle against Mixie, like.
And the bun and dance. To be fair, at the time as well, speaking of how me and you got in touch, the whole Don't Flop Extra thing, when he called out Tony D, when he did that, think back to that time, can you say that wasn't a battle you wanted to see?
Yeah.
And I sat there and gone, at that time, where Tony was in his career and where Bowski was, I had Bowski winning that 2-1. And it was a battle that I wanted to watch.
Yeah, never considered that matchup, but yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, and I think Bowski would have risen.
At the time, like, don't get me wrong. I think Bowski will be the first to admit now that I don't think he could go toe to toe with Tony on his day, and obviously it never happened because Tony's retired now. But at that time, it made sense, and that just shows how good Bowski actually was. The fact that at that time period where he said. Where he called out Tony, you weren't angry with it.
And the next person that I want to focus on, this guy's an absolute legend. You know, so much respect for Sir Bloodstro.
But this battle's got the fans saying, what? Bloodstro's back? Well, I'm here, so let's start the execution. You'll see hockey match, flash body parts. Each performance is retribution. How bitches in Canada on my dick. Got deaf and used to prove it, which is funny, because the only time I ever heard big bang was when it started Evolution.
People are going to get so angry with me putting him in his list. Let me tell you now, Let me tell you now. Without Bloodstro, there would be no Lunacy. Without Bloodstro, we wouldn't have the second best slogan in battle rap in my eyes after it's relevant, and that is you've seen more in the night than you've seen in your life.
It is a great catchphrase, yeah.
And to be fair, right, I like me and Bloodstro. We only recently like proper got talking. Me and Bloodstro, obviously Premier Battles and all that. But me and Bloodstro actually grew up around the corner from each other,
right.
And we know all the same people. That we were having a good chat and things like that. And Bloodstro, like. He can write, don't get it wrong, don't get me twisted, he can write. When he came back and he battled Big J, I had Bloodstro winning that. Yep. I totally had Bloodstro winning that. And I tell you what, the best Bloodstro performance, right, is when the Don't Flop did I think it was after a checkpoint, where they did the first, like, or the second Rumble type thing, when it was Bloodstro, O'Shea.
Oh, yeah, Bullets was involved at points.
Yeah. Soul Jitsu and Yunnan and all them, and Bloodstro, just off the top to be as quick as he was better off the top than he was at writing. But no, the reason Bloodstro is in this list is how much he has done for battle rap. Because again, without him, there's no Luna. We don't have that classic Lunacy battle where everyone fell in love with Lunacy, because let's not forget that wasn't Luna's first battle, because Luna's first battle got vaulted.
Yeah, versus Fame, was it?
Yeah,
I think it was. Maybe it was.
I don't put it this way. I think Briggsy battled this kid, and that battle never came out.
Okay.
And Bloodstro battled him, and it is actually on YouTube somewhere.
Right.
I'm sure it is, and then that's why Luna and Bloodstro battled after that. But yeah, without that, we wouldn't have had the star that was Lunacy. And now Bloodstro is a massive. He is probably one of the. Everyone goes on about it being Briggsy and shotted at home Premier Battles, but I tell you what, Premier Battles wouldn't run without Bloodstro. I've seen this man. Like, I've seen him. He runs about. He makes sure everything's sorted. Him and Tox just put in so much time to help Briggsy out and running events and stuff like that. And his hosting's not as bad as what Bamalam's was, but he hosts well as well. He gives so much to battle rap, so he deserves to be in this list, and he deserves to be as high as he is, if not higher, for his contributions.
No, I don't disagree, man. Definitely, I think Bloodstro's a worthy addition there. Next up is a guy you just mentioned as well. I forget the name of his podcast. I know he's a content king. Tox.
Inside the place just to open coffins, but I'ma make this home. He knows I'm coaching, I'ma rebuild. Open project, but to make this place look nice, I gotta keep an open wallet. I'ma build loads of columns with golden products. Have this place fit for a Roman monarch of an Egyptian pharaoh to coaching. Looking at this.
Oh, what? Mr. Meme, Mr. Troll living under a bridge?
Yeah.
Hopefully my manager next year in the academy if I get in.
Right. Shit. You're going to battle, are you?
I want to. I've been persuaded. Like, Briggsy's been hitting me up for years. Right. Every time I bump to Briggsy, when are you going to battle? Like, we'll sort something out, Briggsy. Yeah. I'm going to go get a beer now. Bye. But no, at match day 4, there was talk of what's going on, and he saw me over some guy's shoulder, and he just turned to me and he went, "When are you going to battle?" And I was like, "Oh, when do you want it?" He went, "Academy next year, and you win." And then obviously the whole "it's relevant" thing came out, and then Tox went, "You're on my team next year, Academy." So who knows? It might happen. It might. I'm open to it. I was a rapper first, so going into battling, going from a rapper to a battler is a lot easier than going from a fan to a battler, in my eyes. So yeah, hopefully it'll work out. If not, but anyway, back to it's not about me. It's about the best in Manchester, and for me, Tox. Tox is fire. Tox can bar, and he knows his style, and he sticks to his style, and he plays to his strengths. Now you look at some of the battles that Tox has had. We all joke about his long round at the Ritz. I think he's still not finished that round, you know.
One of the greatest slogan moments ever for his opponent there.
Exactly. But yeah, no, Tox, he's fire. His battle against Jay Short, which I'm a massive fan of Jay Short, and he's also a very good friend of mine. But for me, Tox did win that. Tox beat Jay Short easily and quite convincingly. Tox, when he battled Willsey, as much as I don't agree with his third round, because I think it was a bit too far, even though I've been getting some flack on the forums this week for my comments. But yeah, no, Tox, for me, he's just fire. Battled Willsey. He's one rounder against Jem, and he held his own. Jem. I
don't know if he held his own. Like, I think Jem bodied him.
But if you think about it, Tox. Everyone said Tox didn't deserve that match, which arguably he didn't. And Jem is arguably now Tony's retired, top 2 in the country, top 3 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now Tony's retired.
Yep.
Are you going to argue with me that Jem doesn't deserve to be up there in one of the best? So for Tox to go in there and battle him in London, because it was at Fiddler's at Nil, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So to go to Jem's hold and still get reaction off the crowd, bearing in mind that nobody wanted to see the match, nobody thought Tox deserved it, but then to go there to batter out and get reaction in a foreign crowd, I think he held his own. Jem won, don't get me wrong, Jem cleaned the one because of the Yoshimitsu bar. That Shing Yoshimitsu, that's where Jem won it to me, but Tox still did his thing. No one can take away from Tox or his resume. Tell me someone bad that Tox has battled.
Future?
Right, okay.
I mean, that was his tryout, so he didn't, you know.
Yeah, well, no one gets a great tryout unless your name's Bloodstraw. Right. And even that wasn't technically a tryout.
No, I think Tox deserves to be there as well.
And again,
Sarcasm City is a fair adversary, but you know, when you're on that Premier Battles tee and you're still not breaking 1,000 subs, what are you doing?
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? It's like, how are you still at 500? Like,
wait until me and Tox have a chat about you. You're gonna end up causing beef for yourself again. And we know what happened last time you caused beef with someone from Premier Battles.
But no, Tox obviously a great broadcaster, and I do enjoy Sarcasm too.
And what he's doing for Premier Battles.
Yeah. No,
he's making sure the battle rap doesn't die.
No, he is. Yeah, no, I do appreciate his passion there. Jay Short is next.
You told Tally he got out of hospital for drug abuse. Even if it's not true, you still said it for a full crowd and for everybody online. And then against Willsey, you had the fucking nerve to bring up the fact that his mom died. So your battles are a lot like your cold calling. Because if you don't have their personal details, you struggle to do your job right.
I think everyone who ever seen Jay Short is in agreement that this guy is a serious talent.
Yeah, but everyone will also say he's not from Manchester, he's from Burnley.
Right.
No, he's from Manchester, but he lives in Burnley now. Jay Short, that is my brother, and I mean my brother. I never spoke to Jay Short before, never met him before. I went down to the academy event. I said to Briggsy, I said, Briggs, look, you're going to be running around hosting and all this. I'm stood here on my own, bro. I only know you. And he introduced me to Raptor, who I'll get onto later. And Raptor introduced me to Jay Short. Now, Jay Short is one of them people. Me and Jay Short talk on a friend basis. I'll hit him up, ask him how his little one is, and all sorts of stuff like that. And that's how cool he is. And his persona, when you see him battle, may come across like he's one of those guys that ain't approachable. One of the most approachable people you'll ever meet. And arguably best freestyler from Manchester.
Yeah, Bobby may be on a beat more.
But yeah, Bobby may be on a beat, but
yeah. Battle-wise,
yeah. Like, he flips crazy. Like, match day 4, the one against Juan. Juan started his round off by going on about how you're only alone and da-da-da-da-da. And Jay come back with a flip and about you only get interest from your friends. That's an amigo loan. And that was a flip. Bearing in mind, I was with Jay while he was prepping and everything. I heard Jay's rounds, and let me tell you now, anybody who thinks that was a pre-written flip, it wasn't. He did it on the spot. Because I think if you watch the battle when it comes out, or go and cop that pay-per-view from Premier Battles Match Day 4. There wasn't a bad battle on the card. But if you watch it, even I look at him as gay. What the fuck? That was crazy. And his writing style is unbelievable. He's another one that can do the jokes, but his pen is unbelievable. The only thing that lets Jay down, and I've said it to him personally, so he won't mind me saying this, is sometimes he stumbles and rushes through his shit.
Yeah.
But his resume, he beat Kojay, who Kojay's arguably one of the best active at the moment off his Premier Battles performances. Jay Short beat Kojay clean as well in my eyes.
I mean, Kojay was a bit of a mess, though, wasn't he?
It doesn't matter though. If like, this is my argument. You can't go to a battle and say you're a mess. Same with Briggsy against Mr. Ree. For me, there's no excuse. If you're gonna do it, you go to a battle and you're like, Bobby Rex can go out on a session the night before, a big session, and still show up and knock it out of the park. So for me, there's no argument to not knowing your shit. And now, if I ever choke people, if I battle and I choke, you can come back and you can play this clip to me over and over and over and over again. But in my eyes, you shouldn't not know your shit. I don't like chokes. If there's something that makes you choke during the battle, then I can understand that. But off the top, when you've had time to prep for it and things like that, I don't agree with it. No offense, Tom.
Knowing Jay Short as well had a bit of an evolution. I know a lot of people early on had him pegged as this lunacy clone, which I didn't really see watching those battles. It was just kind of the thing to say back then. But yeah, he's evolved into a killer.
I think what it was, and there's a lot of people that still try and do it to this day. And I've been to the academy events. I've seen a lot of the guys. I've chatted to a lot of the guys, and these people back in that time when everyone was getting called a lunar clone, it's because people saw that the fans wanted the joke bars. The people that were getting the views were the jokey people or the gimmicky type people, and that I think anybody who then after Luna came out, if anybody did any type of jokes, especially any white kid, any white rapper with a bit of an accent that was doing any sort of jokes, was either seen as a Luna copy or an Eddie P and Frisco copy. And that's just the way it was at that time. So yeah, no, I don't see the comparisons with that. You look at Jay's probably one of the people on the list that have done more battles than the rest of the people. I think he's done a lot of battles, because not only did he battle for Don't Flop time and time again, at the drop of a hat get called, and he'll battle. He'll fill in on short notice.
And never really got the looks in the UK, did he, on Don't Flop?
He didn't. No, he didn't. Because of the people he was matched against. Yeah. He was always matched against people that didn't expect to win. Now, he didn't get the look in the UK, but you look at, he went and battled around America.
Yeah.
He went to America with Don't Flop, and he battled people out there, and did well, really well. And again, Jay's one of them people who genuinely loves this, and you can see it by the way he even if he's not battling, he's at events, and even when he is battling, he's battling all over the country. It's like he's in Newcastle this weekend, which unfortunately I can't go to, but he's been to Ireland. He's going back to Ireland in January, I think. I think he's going to be on. He's battling Podge Dwyer at 0-3, which I will be going to.
Oh yeah.
I think he deserves. I think it's his time now. I think now there's so many different leagues, and he's.
Why is he getting Podge Dwyer then? That's a kind of crappy matchup for him. I'm sorry, like.
No, it is. I don't.
Love to Podge, but it's like Jay Short needs to be getting real deal.
No, do you know who I want to see Jay Short battle? And I've told him this, and it's one thing that I want to see happen, and I will try and get it to happen in any way possible. I want to see Jay Short versus Frack.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fire battle. Jay Short, Frack, and I would love to see Jay Short versus Lou Cypher. And that is a battle that they're both people. I partied with them a match day 4, and they've both said they're down to do it if the right league puts it on. So Jay Short, Lou Cypher, and Jay Short, Frack are 2 battles that I think he deserves, and I think it would be really good battles as well. And again, yeah, the likes of Real Deal, I can see Jay Short and Real Deal having a great battle. And it's just, he deserves bigger names now. And it's unfortunate that match day 4, he didn't catch the W, but out of all the battles that day, that was the closest battle on the judges' scorecard.
Yeah,
one won it by 2 points.
Can't wait to watch that one back. I haven't actually seen it.
Oh no! I tell you what, one he's still unbeaten. No one's beaten one.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's been that close.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been that close to beating one. 2 points on the judges' scorecard, and literally all it was because Jay stumbled in his third, and he went slightly over a time limit. And literally, the reason he went over the time limit was because of the stumble. If he didn't stumble and go back, he'd have been well within the time limit. And I genuinely think that on the day, bar for bar, Jay won. But looking at the scorecard and how Premier Battle scorecard works, I agree with the decision.
Next person to talk about is, I mean, I've had most of these guys on the show, actually. Go listen to the episodes. But this is an episode that I remember very fondly because I'm just a huge fan of this guy, both as a human being and a battle rapper. It's the viral golden child, Yaneth, Blizzard.
Boy. I'm surprised you still have remaining feminine traits with all the undeveloped men that have been spread on your face. Yo, she's on Emplizzle. So at the moment her work's minimal. The only job she knows has blow as the first syllable. And she got fired from that too. She's terrible at it.
My boy, shout out to Blizzard. I was still talking to Blizzard this morning actually. I mean, he's just moved back to Manchester, so I've been keep checking in on him and stuff like that. I love this guy. Without Blizzard, I wouldn't be a fan of battle rap, so of course he was going to be high on my list. Again, he has had. Well, he was the first. Was he the first million views? I think he was the first.
Yeah, him and Grace was. I think, yeah.
He took battle rap in the UK viral. Without Blizzard, Don't Flop would have never have got to where he's got because he wouldn't have got the exposure it's got. He was on YouTube. He got took to places that were unknown. And you look at Blizzard's resume. Fair enough, he didn't battle a hell of a lot, but apart from he battled. I think he battled some unknown kid that never went into it again. Then he battled Seuss. Then after Seuss, I think he battled. I don't think he battled for a while after that, but then he battled H-Bomb. Then after H-Bomb, he got Mark Grist. Then after Mark Grist, he got Lego. Then after Lego, he got Roan.
Pamphlet was actually in between then.
Oh, sorry, sorry, I forget the Pamphlet battle, because that's one of the only battles where I wasn't a massive fan of what Blizzard did.
No, he goes in on his dad, doesn't he? It's pretty far.
See, I've been catching a lot of flack for the grief I've been giving you, Nan, but that's for like other reasons. I think when it comes to dead relatives, that's the line for me. Anything else is fair game in my eyes, but when it comes to someone deaf, that's where I draw the line. So, as much as I love Blizzard to bits, and he's a mate of mine, I'd do anything for the guy. I didn't like his thing against Pamphlet, so it's not a battle that I've watched a lot.
And musically, quite a gifted producer, right? Did a lot of iconic Don't Flop beats.
To be fair, he's probably the best producer in Manchester to this day. Always has been, always will be in my eyes. I know a few producers in Manchester, and that's not taken away from them, but nobody is talented as talented musically as Blizzard is. The guy can rap, the guy can sing, the guy can produce, the guy can make scores. I've heard a score that he's done. There's a video on YouTube, Tom, that you might have to go and watch, or I'll send you the links in a bit, of me and Blizzard backstage at a show, just freestyling to a Wretch 3-2 thing with a guitar, and literally after 2 chords he just belted out the Josh Cummer bit, Don't Go, and he's just so talented. And it's a shame how things have gone for him musically, and I know it hurts him, and I know he wants to be back and doing it, and I'm sure he will come back in a big way. I don't think he'll have a battle again, and the reason I don't think he'll battle again is the way he was treated by King Rowan. I use that phrase sarcastically, because if you look at the matchups that Blizzard got, apart from H-Bomb, who was he favourite to beat?
Right.
In my eyes, this is something that I said to Blizzard many years ago when he first stopped battling. He was always put in the matchups where it didn't matter what Blizzard did, he wasn't going to win. Against Mark Grist, he was never going to win because of the way that the battle was set up and how it was advertised.
It's still a classic battle, though. Like, regardless of that.
Don't get me wrong. Blizzard in that battle, all 3 rounds of Blizzard's a fire. But Mark Grist was the gimmick there. Shonda Rhimes, when he did the Poets versus Rappers thing, Blizzard outright Shonda Rhimes, but she got the win clearly in the room and on the video because it was a gimmick. And this is what I got to speak to Quill at Match Day 4. And I said to him that I'm a fan of Quill, I like him, but I'll never forgive him for what he did to Blizzard, because that battle would have made.
You said that to him.
I said, yeah, I'm one of these people, Tom. I'll tell people to face. It's like LS Dean told LS Dean I thought he was trash until the Academy, and I told him to his face. I've got it on video, me telling him to his
Fair
face.
Enough.
But yeah, I said to Quill, I said I won't forgive you for doing that, because that battle would have made up for all the shitty matchups that Blizzard got given, that Blizzard took for the love of it, that maybe doubt Blizzard as a battler. Because I'm telling you now, if you give Blizzard someone that isn't a gimmicky battler or something like that, and a hard battle, barring the Roan performance, because he let himself down with that, with like not knowing his shit and stuff. But again, in the Roan battle, he's still fire. The Lego battle, arguably, you could say Blizzard won the Lego battle. It's debatable. You wouldn't be angry if you said Lego 2-1, or you wouldn't be angry if you said Blizzard 2-1.
And we're getting into the final 4 now. So just to recap, from 11, we've had Chronicle, Frisco, Bowski, Bloodstro, Tox, J Short, Blizzard. So, dear listeners, who do you think is going to be next? Number 4 is an old adversary of mine, but someone
who bodied you.
He did body me. I had a lot, I have so much respect for this guy, and he's been killing it lately. But I'll always resent him slightly. It's Briggsy.
Oh, how I podcast.
amongst the lonely nights in my boxers, scrolling through the interweb for battle content they might gossip. And between the URL clash and the occasional Pornhub bash, I find myself wondering, what random guest shall I ask? I heard Dave took a break from his acquired job at the bookshop to attend a battle out in East. They called it the jump off.
And the only reason, Briggsy was going to be number one for beating Soul. End of. No, I think if I'd have put Briggsy number one, people would kill me and go it's favouritism because I'm his friend. But no, Briggsy. And I'm actually glad that his Battle Rap resume came out before we did this because I got to listen.
Episode, yeah.
One of the best ones I've listened to, and one that I've listened to in its entirety without skipping or playing on games on my phone or anything like that. It's one that I've listened to start to finish because I think if you listen to that, you can hear his love for battle rap.
Yeah.
And no matter how many, he's the only person in the world, and we joke about this, he is the only person in battle rap that's retired more times than B Magic.
That's true. That's true. I'm wanting to retire, but
yeah, well, you had 7 months to prep and choke.
I know. Oh, let's never mention it. Let's not go through it. But no, I think, whatever, when we did the episode and when I was watching his battles and afterwards and whatever, like, I did really grow to appreciate his style. And I think it's undeniable, if not from a battle perspective, then just from a promoter perspective, that the guy's done incredible work.
Well, the thing with Briggsy is the same attribute that I gave Bowski earlier. He's versatile. He can do everything. He can do the jokes because if you look at, like he said in his battle rap resume, if he tried to go pen for pen with Soul, which I don't think he gives himself enough credit for, Briggsy is an amazing writer. I've listened to Briggsy's music. I've featured on Briggsy's music before. I've been to his show. Briggsy's an amazing writer, and doesn't give himself enough credit for that. But he knows what to do. He went in and he joked Soul. He clowned Soul. He beat Soul. Then he goes to the Ritz and he faces Bamalam and he bars his life away. And then he goes to Norway, which isn't his best battle, but then clowns him for one round, bars him for a round, freestyles for another round. You look at Briggsy's resume, apart from the Eek battle, which I think he deserves someone better, the Mixie battle, which I didn't think he should take, and yeah, that's it. Other than that, he's had great names to battle. He battled Els.
Yeah.
He's battled Mr. Ryu. Arguably, Mr. Ryu is one of the underrated, never got to the heights he should do. Got battlers. You've got he beat Soul. He's battled Villain. He's battled Koj. He's battled Yunnan. Do you know what I mean? Like, he battled Bam. He's battled so many people. Like, his battle with Zen at match day 4. I'm sure have you heard about the retaliation bar, Tom?
I haven't, no.
Oh my Gideon. Let me tell you what Briggsy did. So Briggsy's battling Zen. I think it's second round that he does this. And it's something about you can bring the metal in, something, but Zen will have a worse retaliation than Don't Flop did.
Right.
Let me tell you, that for me, bar of the night at that event, because nothing got a reaction like that other than O'Shea telling Koj that if the world's flat, there's a mountain. But no, Briggsy, again, that was just his style of writing, because he took something that's relevant, but made it against his opponent. And that is just testament to Briggsy as a writer. His writing is fire.
I mean, check out him versus Soliloquy as well. He gives a great performance in that. I'm sorry again,
he's got a scroll! He's got a scroll! I still shout that at Raptor every time I see him.
We're in the top 3 now. Bobby
the
Rex
big
is
boys.
Third.
Bobby is only third. Is only third because of how new he is. Let me tell you, Bobby Rex, right?
You get public transport now because your car got scrapped a couple fucking weeks ago. Also, your girlfriend left you recently. But bro, she was getting on my tits and I'll be surprised if you missed her. And at the end of the day, it's better to have loved than lost and to have not fucked her sister.
I thought Bobby would be one of these that takes forever to write a battle. Because I've never really seen him freestyle like that much or anything like that. Let me tell you that he is incredibly intelligent. And the way he approaches battles and opponents, he's one of them that he's very strategic with what he does. If he's battling somebody, for example, the Ambi battle, where I think everybody expected Bobby to win that hands down. I don't think Bobby himself expected Ambi to be a problem. So what did Bobby did? He had fun with it and came up with one of the most technical writing things that I've ever seen, with where he's doing the alphabet. I think it's the second round. He's doing the A. And he actually broke down how he wrote that to a crowd at the academy, and just listening to how he strategically picks apart and picks his rounds and way he does it. It's so much admiration when Bobby Rex is talking. Honest to God, he was probably one of the people I spent quite a lot of my first academy event with. I spent a lot of time talking to Bobby, listening to how passionate he is about battling, and arguably, this is my question: who's beat Bobby? Is Bobby Rex undefeated?
That's a good question, actually. I'll have to recount some of his battles. But I think with Bobby, for me, and he knows that I think this, I think he's a good battler, but I think on beat in his freestyles, on his phone, some of that stuff to me is like jaw-dropping. It's so fucking good.
Oh, I swear to God, if him and Raptor don't do a 2-on-2, there's something wrong. I went after the academy event. Raptor was performing at the Ritz, and he brought Bobby out on stage. And Bobby's recorded this song with Raptor to old Dr. Dre beat. I think it's What's the Difference. And I swear to God, his flow on it is unbelievable. Like, he does about 3 or 4 different flows on the tune. And Bobby, he's such a good battler. That's why he's in my top 3. But musically, he's amazing as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby! I can't wait. I mean,
he lost to Dundee, I thought.
No, not at all. No. Bobby's first won that battle for me, where he mimics being Dundee.
Right.
That won that battle, because he played on an angle where he's like, yeah, we look alike, or we've got the same sort of personality. People think we're these big drinkers and the big sesh heads. So I'm going to take this, and again, this is how strategic he is with it. I'm going to take that and I'm going to pretend to be Dundee. And it went down. I think he 3-0'd Alias the Attic in KOTD as well.
Yeah, I think
he 3-0'd him. I can't wait to see this battle that he's going to drop. That's going to drop from Australia, where he's just been.
Oh yeah, versus Manazil. Yeah.
I think people don't think he's going to come against Soul, and I think you're going to see the best Bobby Rex you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good battle.
And to be fair, anybody from Manchester that's listening to this who isn't at that event, when it's only a £5 a ticket, you're crazy. You are not going to see a main stage battle, because that battle could go on any card in any country in the world, barring probably URL, because they don't look like what the hell they used to. But it could go on Canada, it could go in Dolt Flop, it could go Premier Battles, which it is, it could go Toronto, and nobody would argue it. And you're not going to get to see that battle anywhere for a £5. So anybody that can get to Manchester Saturday the 1st of September at AAT, I think the venue is, get down there, £5 a ticket. It's going to be fire, and you're going to see arguably the best UK battle of 2018, arguably.
And we come to our top 2, and by announcing the second, it's going to give away the first. We're talking about Raptor.
Food on the table, clean clothes and a place to rest. And the last time I checked on it, fucking views and fans don't pay the rent. That's why I kill man for money, so take note of the face of death. Cause if you say you the king, when it's battles like a game of chess, blacks feed whites, mind games out. Carefully plan to make my steps, but I think of my opponent's next move and erase the threat. Then I put them thoughts into action. Execute it to perfection. When the invasion set me, then I'll take out everyone around him to make sure this king remains in check. Cause see, I'm a different
Raptor. Now, Raptor's getting a lot of stick at the moment, which I don't like. Yeah, he's showed two battles from conversations that I've had. He's had a very, very, very good reason for not showing up to one of them. The other one I can't comment on. I don't like the way that he's been treated at the moment, and I think it's really disrespectful for someone who, for the last 4 years or so, has travelled up and down the country and around the world to do battles, sometimes when he's probably not got the fee that he deserves for battling, to get them out as much stick he's got. And this is not taking anything away from Cold J. Cold J deserves the battle Chiller, but the way that Cold Red have done that...
Yeah, what happened there?
Basically, it's all down to what's gone on the forum, and basically what happened at Summer Madness in Vegas. Because people have choked and because people have no-showed and things like that, there's this whole argument. And Tox is guilty for this, and I've told him of accountability. So Raptor couldn't make Rapping It Jack, which I think is the one that he had the good reason for not being there.
Right, the Pedro battle.
Yeah. And basically, they've done the announcement. Now, if for any reason, Danny Jack or any of them lot, or whoever it is that does the nil stuff, was upset about Raptor not making it to Rapping It Jack, why drop the flyer? Why drop the flyer that he's battling Chiller? Because
so that wasn't happening when they dropped it.
I think it was happening, but then I think basically I don't know the full ins and outs of it, and I'm not gonna comment on. I'm not gonna say, well, Danny Jack's done this or whatever, because at the end of the day, that event's still going to be a great event, and they're still doing their bit, and they've done what they thought is right for their brand and their business. I'm angry because I like Raptor. I class Raptor as a friend, so therefore I feel some type of way with how he's been treated. But basically, yeah, everyone going on about no shows, and because I think it was the Gift of the Gab event, only 2 battles happened, and it kicked off this massive storm. Basically, Raptor's been dropped from the Chiller battle, and Koj's been given it, which I no hate towards Koj. He deserves that battle. Koj's put in work, and he's arguably been one of the best battles on Premier Battles this year. But the way that Raptor's been treated, if they hadn't dropped the flyer and then removed it and changed it and put Koj's face there, then I could understand it. But the fact of the matter is, they dropped the flyer, got everybody gassed for Raptor Chiller, and then within 20 seconds just changed it. I don't agree with that. Raptor is putting so much work. He's the first battler to go battle on South Africa. No one else did that. Him and Lou Cypher were the first 2 to go out there and do that. He's the first UK battler in South Africa.
He's an incredible battler. I mean, let's talk about the good stuff with Raptor. Like, him and Tony. His rounds versus Tony are some of the best rounds ever on Don't Flop.
The best Raptor we've ever seen was against Big Cannon.
The Big Cannon battle was amazing.
What he did to Craft D was just horrible. It was just bullying.
Yeah, that was ugly. Yeah,
it was ugly. But to be fair, that's it. If you as a person are going to go out there and start saying, I want to battle you, I want to do this, do that, you got to expect that. And Craft D tweeted me the other day. I don't know if he was joking or telling the truth, but I think if he's telling the truth, he's wrong, because he thinks he won that 2-1.
Right.
Which he didn't. That wasn't Raptor on his A game, and Raptor still 3-0'd him. Ginger, Virgin, Poetry, he 3-0'd him. Raptor against Shuffle T, a match that I don't think anybody understood when it dropped. Shuffle wins it for me, but Raptor still showed up.
Yeah.
Raptor against Villain at the Ritz. Raptor was still a brand new to battle. Like, to Don't Flop and stuff like that. And you get the Animal on Lines bar. That is one of the best cocaine bar ever.
I would say so, yeah.
Who else? Oh, Raptor at Premier Battles. He's not won on a match day, and I know you know this because you do the whole Raptor at the beginning, that thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
But he's not won, but he still showed out, and I think him versus Villain was very close in my eyes. Very, very close. I think Raptors. I think it's his first or his second where he goes in and he gets really, really hyped at the end of it. I think he just absolutely murdered it, and there is nobody that can multi the way that Raptor can. The way his flow is, and it just rolls off the tongue. It's easy to listen to. I genuinely believe that if put a bit more effort into battling and a bit more time of learning shit and maybe not getting on the session, we could have seen him as the Don't Flop champion. I think if he'd put a bit more time in, and I've spoke to him about it again because I'm a nosy little twat, and if I think you're shit, I'll tell you you're shit. I'll tell you to your face. I think you're shit. And I said he let down a lot of people that wanted him to win that title, because I'd love to have seen him with the title. I don't think anybody that's a fan of Raptor battling full stop wanted him to win that match against Soul. And arguably he let himself down with that.
Hashtag and the new. I think I remember him trying to trend.
Yep. But I tell you what, watch him against Calico. Him versus Calico, oh Lord. I've never seen anybody step to Calico like that. Ever. And he walked, like, he has the joke at the beginning, saying, "Oh, I won't fight," but he just went, "I don't care if you are the biggest gun bar king, rapper, whatever you are in URL. I am coming with bars for you." And I think Raptor killed that battle. I still think Calico won it because Calico is Calico, but Raptor was fire. And I don't, other than the Soul performance and possibly, no, the only Raptor performance. I don't like his tryout against Youngest Fusion. I didn't like that. Yeah. But other than that, there isn't a battle of Raptors that I can say that I don't like, and I don't think, other than the Soul battle, that I don't think that he showed up and he did what he had to do.
Yeah, and going to number one, which I think is pretty obvious. It is Els. I mean, it is Shotty.
Yeah. No, Els. Where's Shotty coming to this? Yeah. Some said he wasn't going to show up.
We're in England right now, and I know this one motherfucker called Payback. You're gonna dreadlocking up with me, this won't be no close shave, fam. You won't let the chrome spark, you have no arms, I should have battled Ahab. Okay. I'm about the growth in the culture, you're a poser and vulture looking at money, grab and make cash. See, I'm about the science, he's about the math. That means we are not the same class. I'll roll up on him while he's listening to his Drake tracks with a blade that'll take off that Lil Wayne mask.
It had to be Shotty, right?
Oh, no, it had to be. Because at the end of the day, he's you've had battlers from England go to America, go to Canada, because I don't think anyone's battled in America other than Shotty. In terms of,
oh no, Bousey has for No Coast, but
yeah, no, but I mean on a big stage, at the time when he went to UW, and battled Daylight, that UW was the big thing, was the next big thing, because I remember people were getting a bit sick of Smack and the way that he was putting the same people on, and Arsenal just come off that big battle with Shotty in the first place, so UW were doing the Lux thing there, what's it called?
Yeah, Hollow.
Tony's twin, Hollow, that's it. Yeah, so Shotty went out there and he battled Daylight. And I've watched the battle a few times, and I think Shotty wins it. And people might say I'm being biased there, but I just preferred Shotty's rounds. I think he bodied Arsenal twice. Well, no.
Yeah, the second battle was terrible on Arsenal's part.
I think the first battle is you could give it 2-1 either way and won't be angry.
Yeah.
I know people, like celebrities like Getz and Sway and that they said Shotty won it. His battle against Tony, again, you can argue either way on who you prefer. My eyes, Shotty won that. Apart from the Holy Shoulder Blades, God's back. But I think he did that don't forget, I think that was the same sort of time when they first started doing the Bad Bars battle show. I think the battle was the same sort of time as that.
Right.
So I don't know whether he did that on purpose. I think he might have done that on purpose to play or to just play up to the crowd, because at the end of the day, everybody in that room was there to see Shotty.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Ritz, Tom?
I have actually. I saw MF Doom there a few years ago.
Yes. Well, you know how big of a room that is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I think I said to Briggsy on the episode, like, you see the waves of people receiving the bar. Like, so many people.
Yeah, the Ritz. I've been fortunate to perform there as well, and it's a staple of Manchester, is the Ritz. And let's have it right. Everybody was there to see Shotty versus Tony, and I don't think, apart from the All-Star game, which don't ask me because I don't know anything. All I know is if that'll be the only other battle event that'll get that sort of crowd, will be the All-Star game, if the rumours are true. And Shotty versus Tony was one of the best battles. Shotty versus Yaneth. Shotty versus Jay Madden. Like, don't get Shotty. Shotty started
versus
his career.
Disciple, yeah.
He killed the King on his debut.
So the song goes.
Then he battled O'Shea. Then he had to start at the bottom again because he had, what, DPF, was it?
Was it DPF? Let me just double check that. I don't know if it was DPF, but it was Disciple, I think.
Yeah, sorry, Disciple, not DPF. DPF's who Luna battled.
Luna battled, yeah.
Yeah, Disciple. Then he had Jay Madden, which, don't get me wrong, Jay Madden was catchy. But he's not. And then he goes on to battle Yunnan, which the first time I watched that battle, because I know Shotty, I know who he is, and known his music for years. Hearing him joke about the way he did in those three battles, I didn't like it at first, because I know Shotty is one of the pillars of Manchester rap. And to hear him joke around and do that whole, as people used to say, lunacy style or the jokey style, it wasn't for me. Then when after Yunnan, he went and battled Fingers, I think it was, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, and King of the Dot.
One of the best Shotty performances in my eyes against Fingers. I think he killed it. Yeah. Then he battled Pat Stay in Sweden.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was an odd battle.
It was a very odd battle. I don't think either of them were fully prepared for that. No. I'd love to see that. I know it'll never happen because I don't think Shotty will have a battle again, but I'd love to see that now they've both grown. I'm still depressed we never got the Shotty Ill Will battle.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But I did, and this is something that I keep asking Briggsy, and I'm going to say it on here now so that more people start asking him what's going to happen, because Murder Mook tweeted that before he stops battling, he needs to battle Shotty Horror. There's got to be a league somewhere with enough money to get that Shotty and Mook battle happening, because I'm telling you, I think Shotty beats Mook.
Wow, I mean, we'll have to see what Mook does against Averb in about a week's time. But yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that battle at all. To be fair, I'm not a massive fan of either of them. Yeah. I've never been a fan of Mook really since he did the whole hypocritical bar.
Right.
Didn't like that, and I didn't like Mook against Iron Solomon either. So no. Averb, I'm gutted we never got the Shotty Averb battle actually.
Yeah, that was a shame that Caustic had to step in.
Yeah, what Mr. replaces Shotty. I'd tell you what, I'd love to see Shotty Caustic. I'd love to see Shotty just a one-rounder, Shotty versus Caustic, just for Shotty to tell him to piss off. I like Caustic as a battler. I think he's a really, really good battler. But the way that he always stepped in after Shotty made me laugh. For me, Shotty Horror, the king of Mancunian battle rap. He's one of the kings of battle rap. He beat Hitman, and Hitman's just arguably destroyed Tay-Rock, I think.
Yes, yeah. Apparently, he bodied him on Star Power. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he absolutely destroyed him. Shotty beat Arsenal in Toronto. Debatable in London. For me, beat Daylight. I don't think there's anyone that's got the resume that Shotty's got where you can look at it and go, who really beat him? Apart from, I think the clip Shotty battle was a disgrace.
Yeah, sportsmanship it won.
No, I don't. But I think Charlie did it on purpose, knowing that Shotty'd react like that.
Mm.
And I think they're both as bad as each other for that whole situation. And
They are.
They ruined. That could have possibly been the best battle the best international battle to happen in England, and they both like ruined it a bit. I'd love to see Shotty versus Mook again, with everything that he's doing with music and Premier Battles and that. I don't know whether he will battle again, but knowing how crafty that him and Briggsy can be, I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up on Premier Battles, even if it was for, say, like a little one-round thing. I'd love to see it, and I think the tickets that the event would sell, especially if they did it right and marketed it right, which Briggs is a marketing genius. I think, yeah, you'd have the best event ever, and I'd love to see Shotty back on there. But for me, he's done his bit. He can leave with his head held high. And yeah, that's the list.
That's the list. Yeah, that is a crazy list. I want everyone in the comments, let us know, what do you think of the list? What's your top 10, top 11? Who are your favourite Manchester battlers? Just to recap finally: Chronicle, Frisco, Bowski, Bloodstro, Tox, J Short, Blizzard. I feel like Kruger on that song. Briggsy, Bobby Rex, Raptor, and Shotty Horror. Is the full list there. Jan, this has been great, man. I guess finally, how do people get at you? Can they see any? Can they listen to any of your music? Or
yeah, Yaneth Artist on the SoundCloud. I've not put anything out for about 3-4 years now, but there's a few things on there. I have got a couple of songs on iTunes from back when I used to have a bit of a record deal. There's videos of me and Blizzard backstage at Street Dreams. Watch out, hopefully I'll be battling in the near future. Make sure you go and cop the Match Day 4 for Premier Battles. Shout outs to all the Premier Battles guys. They're really changing the game with that stuff, and I do know they've got some big things coming. And Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Of course, man.
I hope to catch up with you. Are you going to Nil?
Yes, I'll be there for sure, yeah.
I'll catch you at Nil. You need to get yourself down to a Premier Battles in Manchester.
I do, yeah. I definitely want to see the Seoul one. I think I can't make it, unfortunately, but yeah.
That one's the 1st of September, but then I think match Day 5 is the 15th, which is Koj versus Raptor. With everything that's gone on, with Koj now getting Chiller instead of Raptor,
yeah.
That is going to be one of the craziest battles. And I do know that both people are coming for heads. And there's the other battles that are yet to be announced on those for Match Day 5. I think I've just seen a little thread on UKBR about maybe Chris Lee's battling one.
That's a great battle.
So yeah, anyone from Manchester that hasn't been to a Premier Battles event yet, you're all gay and you need to sort yourself out. Other than that, guys, absolute pleasure. Hope you like my list. If you don't, I'm sure you can give me grief on the forums like I keep getting. But Tom, it's been a pleasure.
No,
it's relevant, baby.
This has been great. I just want to finalise just by following the show. Please subscribe. Get out this battleresume@gmail.com. If you enjoy the content, episodes like this go on the Patreon first. Weeks before, you can download them on your phone as well. All the episodes go on there. So if you want to give back, leave a review as well on iTunes. But Yaneth, this has been great, man. Thank you.
It's relevant.